Hello and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching, email coaching, as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. You may also want to check out my mini course, Telepathically Connect with Your Specific Person. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I want to give some encouragement and also a reminder to those of you, and I know many of you who are watching this channel are in the same boat, all of you who are manifesting a specific person, I want to encourage you guys, I want to remind you that your wish to be with your specific person is already fulfilled. What you want, your desire, the relationship that you want to have with your SP is already done and it's already yours. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So I talk to a lot of you guys every day, and I know a lot of you tend to be intimidated by circumstances. You tend to put labels on things you experience, things your SP said, things your SP did or didn't say or didn't do. You tend to think of the past, you tend to think of past memories, and what all of this is doing is it's skewing your perspective on how possible it is to manifest whatever it is you're desiring with your specific person. And second, and very important, it's also giving your power away to circumstances and to factors and to variables that shouldn't even come into play in the first place. I know, for example, a lot of you guys, if you're in no contact with your specific person, you are inclined to label your specific person as stubborn or as someone who doesn't reach out first. Some of you even mention attachment styles, like my specific person is an avoidant or is a fearful avoidant or a dismissive avoidant. Or you mention other circumstances, for example, they're dating someone else, or they left me for someone else, or they said they don't want to hear from me again, they said they don't want to see me again, they said they're not attracted to me, they said they love me but only as a friend. The list is endless. And here's one thing that I want you guys to understand. All of these things, all of these labels, all of these meanings are valid things. It's not that they're not true. It's not that they don't exist in the 3D reality, in the present 3D reality. If you're looking at the 3D from the perspective of the 3D, from the perspective of looking for explanations in the 3D, from the perspective of looking for meanings in the 3D, from the perspective of looking for why and how through the 3D and into the 3D, all of these explanations, all of these labels, all of these meanings are technically correct. No one is saying that they don't exist. No one is saying that you are crazy. No one is saying that they're not valid. The problem, however, when you attach to these kinds of stories, when you attach to these kinds of labels, when you want to consciously manifest at the same time, and when you want to consciously manifest a different version of your SP, a different version of your relationship, or repairing your relationship with them, or whatever it might be, what you're doing by attaching to those stories and attaching to those labels and seeking meanings and seeking explanations and trying to figure out the how and the why and the when, all that this does is keeping you stuck in the 3D. The 3D is a perfectly real and perfectly valid realm, okay? But at the same time, it's not the only reality. It's hardly the only reality. As a matter of fact, it is only one reality of an infinite number of realities that are out there in higher dimensions, such as the 4D. What this practically means is that you are deciding to keep yourself stuck in whatever your senses are experiencing, in whatever stories you're telling yourself based on what your senses are experiencing, without even being able, with the finite human mind that we all have, to see the big picture. You're not even aware of what movement might be happening behind the scenes, and yet you're arriving at conclusions, explanations, meanings, labels about what is happening in your 3D, what your story is, and you attach to that story. And what that does is that it takes your power away, you guys. It takes your creative power away. Because if you're going to decide on a story, If you're going to decide that your SP is a stubborn person, if you're going to decide that your SP doesn't want to see you ever again, if you're going to decide that your SP has an XYZ attachment style, what you're doing is that you're excluding the infinite number of possibilities and potentials that are out there in favor of that one narrow story, that one narrow explanation and label that doesn't even align with the story that you want to manifest at the end of the day. So I hope you guys are able to see the paradox here. I hope you're able to see the contradiction between what you want and what you're actually doing and the stories that you're actually adopting and attaching to. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's not like any of these explanations are incorrect or invalid. All realities exist. Quantum physics, quantum mechanics tells us that all realities exist, okay? So if you decide that this reality exists, that explanation of why your person is behaving this or that way is because of this and this and that is valid, that is true. However, is it the truth that you actually want? Is it the truth that actually serves you? Is it the truth that is actually going to ultimately bring you your desire to pass in the 3D? And if it isn't, why are you sticking to that story? Why are you adopting that story? Why do you keep observing that story, reacting to that story, responding to that story, when there is an infinite number of stories, possibilities, potentials that you can choose from that can actually serve you better and can actually align, truly align and genuinely align with what you want to experience? Your desire is fulfilled, it's already done, because your desire already exists. Creation is finished. That means if you're able to imagine your desire does exist. It has been creating for you. It's up for grabs. That means there is a reality out there in the field of infinite potential, in the quantum field, in the 4D, where you and your SP are together or back together, or your SP is not whatever attachment style you have decided they are. They are a different attachment style. They're securely attached. There is a reality where your SP is not the stubborn person that they're showing up as, but they are rather a person who honors their emotions, honors their feelings, honors their desires, and who follows their heart, as an example. The thing with conscious manifesting is that you need to deliberately start transcending those 3D circumstances, those 3D labels, all those things that keep you stuck, and at the end of the day, take your power away. Because if you've decided and you've established within yourself that your SP is stubborn and your SP is not the kind of person who reaches out first, and yet you have a burning desire for them to reach out, well, where does that leave you? On the one hand, you want them to reach out, and on the other hand, you keep affirming that they're not the kind of person who reaches out first. So where's your power in all of that? You have none. You have none because you have already decided that they're the person who doesn't reach out. Your desire is already fulfilled because you're able to imagine it. Your desire is already fulfilled because it already exists. However, for you to bring it over to the 3D, for you to bring it forth to the 3D, you need to start seeing things and circumstances with the eyes of God. Is anything truly impossible to God? No. Is someone's attachment style or someone's stubbornness or something someone said really going to stop God's creative power? No, of course not. What a ridiculous thought, right? This is how you need to start transcending the circumstances and seeing fulfillment everywhere, instead of obstacles, instead of circumstances, and instead of labels and meanings that only apply to a very narrow, very limited 3D, which is the only thing you can see with your senses. Your desire is already fulfilled. Your relationship with your SP is already fulfilled. But you need to start seeing it from the eyes of fulfillment. You need to start seeing things and circumstances and what you expect and what meanings you attach to things with the eyes of fulfillment, from the perspective and the perception of fulfillment. Everything is fulfillment. It's not that there are no circumstances or no obstacles in the 3D. Of course there are, but they're in the 3D. You, as a conscious manifestor, are looking through the eyes of fulfillment. You are looking through the eyes of your creative power. You are looking through the eyes of God. It's what Neville said, think as God. Your desire is already fulfilled. Your manifestation with your SP is already fulfilled as long as you transcend what you see in the 3D and you start looking from the eyes of fulfillment, the eyes of creation, the eyes of your inner power. When you align with that reality, where your desire is the only reality and your desire for a relationship with your SP, for a repaired relationship with your SP, for healing with your SP, for being back together with your SP, whatever your situation might be. Once you start seeing it from the eyes of your higher self, once you start seeing it from the eyes of fulfillment, because it's already done, it's already yours, it's already available, it's already been created, you're not creating anything from scratch, then you no longer see the circumstances or the obstacles. It's not that you literally don't see them. Yes, you notice them. Yes, you know they're there. What I mean is that they don't matter. What I mean is that they don't stop you. What I mean is that they don't face you. You sort of become immune to them in a way. So you'd better believe that your desire with your SP is fulfilled. It's already done. It's already yours. And it's not dependent on any conditions, any circumstances, any labels in the 3D. If you don't fall into the temptation to give your power away to those stupid little circumstances in the 3D, because from the eyes of God, that's what they are. Stupid little circumstances that don't even matter. Then your desire is already fulfilled. Your desire is already done. You and your SP are already together. You and your SP are already back together. Your relationship is already healed. They're already in love with you. They are already willing and capable of being in a relationship with you. They're healed of any trauma of the past that you might perceive them as having. So you guys, it all depends on what eyes you see through. If you see through the eyes of the circumstances, that becomes your reality. If you see through the eyes of potential and through the eyes of fulfillment, and ultimately through the eyes of your inner power and the eyes of God, then this is your reality. This becomes your reality. So at the end of the day, it's your choice. What do you want to experience with your SP? You can either believe that it's impossible or very hard, or you can believe that it's perfectly possible, the potential is already there, it's already been created, and it's already been fulfilled. So the choice is yours on which eyes you're going to look through, okay? With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.